Hello and welcome back to Aubrey Books and Coffee. Please grab your favorite beverage of choice and join me. We made it to March, you guys. Hooray! Oh, I loved that readathon. That was so much fun. For those of you that were able to figure it out, make sure that you give me that information I asked you for on Instagram. For those of you who weren't able to figure it out but did participate, please get back to me as soon as you can with information on where I can mail those bookmarks to. But otherwise, it was just, such a good time. Who knew such murder craziness would have happened in February? But I had such a good time. I read so many new authors, so many that I had been wanting to read for a long time, like The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. I hope you guys did too. The best part for me, not just having you guys participate and hang out, but the best part for me was whenever you would tell me the books that you had read, and then you told me you loved them, then I got to add them to Goodreads, because now that just adds to my list, so thank you. I know that's selfish, isn't it? So, as you know, whenever we do our monthly game, we're going to go ahead and start those rolls and see how they do, and I have that checklist that'll pop up so that you can follow along and see all the goodies.
Yay, it's March. Let's start off with how many rolls we're going to have. Please go small. Oh, one! Just one roll! That's so nice! I know that may seem boring to you all, but since we're moving this month, that is fantastic. All right, and our one roll is for a wine glass. And it looks like the prompt is Enemies to Love Story.
Thank goodness there's just one roll. I know that makes the game a lot less exciting for the month for you guys, but given that we're moving and book stuff is happening, there's just a lot on my plate this month. So I personally was very excited to just get the one roll. That being said, I'm still going to do all the things on my list that I do. So I still end up doing around 20 books every month. Have no fear. It'll just mean a little bit of mood reading, which will be nice. You'll still get a full review at the end of the month though. So for me, landing on that prompt of enemies to lovers, which you know I love that trope, I chose Princess of Souls by Alexandra Christo. Now, what I understand about this is that beautiful edition I got in a book box. What I understand is this follows Celestra, who's a princess, and she's heir to this really powerful and magical kingdom. But she's been locked away in a tower for a long, long time and not allowed to really interact with anybody, supposedly for her safety. Well, then there's also Knox, who's a soldier of this kingdom. Secretly, he's been training to take out the king and kill all the royal bloodline, including the princess. Well, then, of course, fates intervene, and the two of them have to conspire together in order to survive. So they're enemies, and then hopefully they'll turn into love. So I'm excited. And it fits my kind of theme where I'm trying to go for March being green or something with lore or Celtic or something along those lines, or Irish. Next, we're going to have the apothecary jar pick.
Okay, so now we're going to, after our one roll, get our apothecary jar and see what awesome book we get to read for the month of March from the jar. And it says Uglies by Scott Westerfield.
So our apothecary jar gave us Uglies by Scott Westerfield. I'm excited to read this. All I know, because I don't want to be spoiled, and there was just way too many hints that looked like it was going to dive into the actual plot whenever I was looking it up. But essentially, in a world where beauty is esteemed very highly, you can have surgeries to change how you look to no longer be ugly. That's all I know that's going on with this book, but I am so excited to read it. It's not really my March theme as far as green or lore, but I'm going to stretch it and say that I'm pretty sure back in the days of, the Celtic time frame, pretty sure they dealt with this same kind of everybody wants beauty, right? So the book kind of fits for that, right? Now we get to do the Advent jar pick because that's my little Advent calendar present for me.
Now we're going to do that Advent gift to myself. See what 2 books I get to enjoy. And it looks like the first one is going to be A Light in the Flame by Jennifer Armentrout. I do need to read this. Can you believe it? Okay, and the second one is going to be The Chemist by Stephanie Meyer.
Yay! So my Advent picks were a lot of fun. I'm so excited. The first one actually does fit my March theme. A Light in the Flame by Jennifer Armentrout. It's got the green, which is nice. Following Sarah Niktos. I'm not going to say any more than that because this is book 2 in the Flesh and Fire series, and I don't want to ruin anything that happens in book 1. But I can't believe I haven't finished this yet. I love that it's now a part of my TBR, so I have no choice but to finish it now. And then the second one was The Chemist by Stephanie Meyer. All I know about this one is that it follows an ex-agent who has to take on a case and solve it in order to kind of get her name back and to save her life because she's on the run. So something horrible obviously happened, and I am so there. Now we get to do our Bookopoly roll, but listen carefully because it's going to look different now that we're into a new year, because remember I started in February last year. So we've now had 1 full year of my booktube. So with a new year comes a new board and a little tiny change in the rules that I think you'll like.
I am so excited that we have a new Bookopoly board. I printed out some pictures. They mean different things now that more fits with my TBR game that I like to do each month and just my own personality. So same kind of rules where I'm going to roll 2 dice and I'm going to then move my little kitty cat here. I'm starting on go, and what I land on, I'll let you know what that means and then show you what I'm going to pick for it like before. And also a little change of the rule. Obviously, this is the go. Once I get all the way around the board, if I come back to go, whether it's this year, next year, 5 times this year, whatever, every time I hit that, I earn myself a goodie, a bookish item, whether it's a bookmark or a t-shirt or whatever. And I'm sharing with you guys because you know I'm all about the prizes and giveaways, and I love hanging out with you guys and celebrating being together as a bookish community. And so every time I pass that go, the first person that watches my video and says that they saw me go past go and claim it will get whatever I get. So if I get a bookmark from Etsy, I get 2 of them, so you get 1. If I get a t-shirt from Bookish Shop, I get 1 and you get 1. So you never know what it's going to be, but it's free to you. All you have to do is watch and then say, I saw you go past go, and claim it, and it's yours. So without further ado, let's get going. Looks like 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which this little space is spring. So something with a spring theme, which is perfect for this time of year.
So how fun is that? I am so excited. I think we're going to have a great time. I can't wait to loop around to get to go again and get some goodies and get to share those with you because you know I'm all about the sharing. You're welcome for my love language being gifts. So anyway, we landed on spring, which is perfect because again, March, I'm trying to do the green and, you know, Celtic or Irish, you know. So for this one, I chose The Buried and the Bound by Rochelle Hassan. I'm excited. It's definitely got the green. It's definitely got all kinds of woodsy vibes. I got this from Owl Crate, so I'm feeling very spring with this. Now, from what I understand, it follows a girl named Aziza, who is the only hedge witch in Massachusetts, and essentially she's used to making bargains with wood nymphs and saving fairies from house cats and things like that. So she's not not used to the magical world. That being said, she, of course, to get her supplies, has to go further and further into the woods. She starts running across some actually very rough characters in the woods. So she enlists the help of Leo. Leo, on the other hand, is totally used to kind of keeping his own and making sure that he doesn't get hurt. He needs help from Azazel, though, because when he turned 16, a curse kicked in that the woman he was madly in love with erased from his mind. So he knows he loves her, but he doesn't know who it is. And so they're going to work together, one helping the other, get that memory back, and the other one to protect her in the woods. Well, as they're going out there, they come across something very unexpected. And so I can't wait to see what that's all about, and I'll let you guys know. Okay, so the number generator is what we do next, which is so exciting. I hit it, it went to ticking, it landed on 154, and that ended up being perfect again. I love when the game comes together with my themes, and it gave me this The Poison Season by Mara Rutherford. And so again, to me, kind of a springy feel to it, especially in the back. And it was another book box book, so I really need to read it anyway. And it follows Lilo, who has spent her entire life around magic. So again, we're doing this magical fun, kind of thing that I wanted for March anyway. And so in the community where she lives, apparently there's a lake that's like cursed, and so that outsiders can't find them in their village. Well, one day there's a stranger that's in the lake that's drowning, and Lilo makes a split-second decision that ends up altering the course of her entire destiny. So I don't know, did she save this person? Did she not? I mean, I can't wait to see what happens, and I just know it's going to be some kind of a fun, epic journey. Okay, so I also always do the Star Wars book, trying to kind of continue on down there. It's going to take me a hot minute, but I'll get there. So the next Star Wars novel I'm going to pick up is Deceived by Paul S. Kemp. Now, from what I understand, this actually goes off of the online Star Wars Republic game that they had, and so we're following Malgus, who's a Sith, obviously, and apparently he brought down the Jedi Temple in Coruscant, and it was a very bloody, fierce battle, and there was one lone knight survivor, though, named Aaron, who wants to know what happened to her master who was at that temple, so she's hunting Malgus down, and they're going to have to face off. That's all I know about it. I will definitely keep you guys posted. And there is a little bit of green in here, right? So it counts. I'm also, of course, going to continue the Robin Hobb series with the last of this trilogy, and that's Assassin's Quest. We're going to continue to follow Fitz, and I'm not going to say any more than that because, again, I don't want to give anything away of what's happened in the previous two books. For those of you who've already read them and know, you know. And if you watched my review yesterday, you know a little bit more of what happened in the second book. Next, of course, I'm also part of two book clubs, and the first one is with the Backlist Books Covers with Cassidy. And then for this next 2 months, because we have chunkers that we get in the group, it's going to be The Promise of Blood by Brian McClellan. And all I know about this, besides the fact that it's super thick, like our Lycanus trilogy was, is that it has to do with a field marshal named Tomas, and that he actually does a very bloody coup against the monarchy. And so now he's trying to get everybody to kill the whole royal cabal. So, that's all I know about it, but I am so there and so excited to read that. I also, of course, have my own book club, the ABC Book Club. Again, you guys are always welcome to join. And this month, again, by one vote, which was kind of funny because I thought I was going to have to vote to do a tiebreaker, we are continuing our duology from Ninth House last month and doing Hell Bent by Leah Bardugo. Cannot wait. I know this is going to continue right where the Ninth House left off, and all of us were just going, oh my gosh! So we're all pretty excited to read this one and see what happens next. Next, I promise to start reading more books that go with the bookish items that come in the boxes when I'm not familiar with them because I haven't read them before. And so for this month, I'm going to tack on King of Battle and Blood. I have no clue what this is about. The cover is really beautiful. I don't know why there's so much war and stuff going on. Was there a lot of war in March at some point in the history, or in Ireland was there just a lot of war? I don't know, but it feels like I'm doing more war than I am doing some Celtic stuff. But who knows? Maybe there's going to be, you know, some of that in there too. And I'm just excited to be able to read some of that to understand what these bookish items mean. So for March, I'm actually not going to do any readathons, which is next on the list. We had February, which was so much fun, but it was a lot of work. And then, like I said, for the month of March, I've got a lot on my plate. We're going to be moving to a new house, and so you're going to see the background looking different. I'm going to have new microphones, so hopefully some upgraded equipment, and it'll make it a little bit nicer when you tune in. And of course, my book's coming out. More on that later. So too much going on to do a readathon. But I do still want to give you my top 3 that I'm looking forward to coming out this month. And the first one is What Have We Done by Alex Finlay. And if you'll remember, he's the one that wrote The Night Shift, and I really enjoyed reading that in Spooktober, and I highly recommend it. I love the way he gives the voice to the characters, the sarcasm, the humor, and then you're on the edge of your seat, and there's even jump scares, believe it or not, and it's fantastic. It's always a fun ride, and I don't even like horror. So for this one, from what I understand, 25 years ago, there's 5 teenagers that were all in a group home together and they survived some horrible abuse. Well, then fast forward 25 years into the future, they've gone their separate ways, but they're starting to realize one by one, somebody's going around and killing them. And so they need to get back together to try to stop this before everybody's gone. I know, it sounds so good. The second one I'm excited about coming out technically came out at the very end yesterday, February 28th, technically already came out. That being said, I'm still calling it for March because I wasn't going to be able to get it until now. And that's The Adventures of Amina Al-Safari by Shannon Chaskaborty. I apologize. You know, I'm terrible with names. If you don't remember, this is the same author that did City of Brass. And while that wasn't a super win for me, I did enjoy the writing style. It's just the story itself wasn't grabbing me enough. But I'm excited about this one. It's about pirates. What's not to love when it's about pirates? The next one and last one that I'm excited about coming out is The Foxglove King by Hannah Whitten. Now this one I've mentioned again at the very beginning of the year that I was super excited to see coming out. Gorgeous cover. It's a whole new series that I'm excited to dive into, following a 13-year-old girl named Lore who is able to escape a cult. She has a secret power of being able to raise the dead, and apparently it gets discovered, and so unfortunately she gets thrust into this dangerous court of this king, and she has to survive. And it just has fae in it, and it just makes me feel all the feels, and so I am so excited to pick that up. And that won't be coming out, I believe, until March 7th. So be looking for that, guys. So there won't be any writing roles either. Again, I know, what a cop-out, right? In exchange, I'm actually going to go ahead and give you a sneak peek. So my ebook is already available for pre-order, and of course it's cheaper as ebook than it is a physical, paperback copy, but definitely not going to discourage you from getting that. The official release date will be on March the 14th, as I've kind of said before in previous videos, but the ebook is available for pre-order if you wish to do that. I will make sure to have a link to the Amazon, to take you right there down below. But at the end of this video, I'm going to go ahead and splash up my cover so you can see my beautiful cover that was designed, and I am so excited, you guys. Now remember, I'm a first-time author. I am a self-published indie author, so be kind. If you want to tell me, feel free to Instagram me. your thoughts on it. It's okay if you hate it. It is okay if you hate it. Just don't be mean when you tell me you hate it. Remember that it is a middle grade fiction of inspiration, and the whole point in these series is, yes, to have some fun and entertain, and it's a story I've been wanting to tell for a while. But I also was really kind of hoping to reach out and find those middle schoolers that are struggling with different issues. And each book in my series is going to cover an issue, and just for them to know they've got a voice, to know that they're seen, to know that they're heard, somebody understands that pain, and kind of put it into a book so that they can either say, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. I totally understand how this character, in this case, Cassie, feels. Or they can hand it to somebody else who says, I'm sorry, man, I just don't understand what you're going through. They can hand the book and say, this right here, this is what it's like to be a teenager right now struggling with this issue. So that's the whole point of these books, to have some fun and fiction, but also to have, some reaching out and helping and being there for them. So again, if you don't like it, it just wasn't for you. And I'm a first-time author, so it's going to be bumpy. It's not going to be smooth and amazing like some of these established authors, but I would love if you'd check it out and let me know kindly what you think, please, and in a private manner, unless you just absolutely loved it and you're for sure, like for real love it, not just saying that, then feel free to put that publicly anywhere. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys have a fabulous month of March. I am going to continue doing my steps and my stairs. I'm going to do my challenges there because it's a lot of fun, and I hope you guys join me doing that too. Hope you join the book club, and there's more to follow, and I'll see you guys soon.